Where is my mud mower? I want to get back to building some things on the mud mower today. Once I finally find it, I'm not exactly sure where it is. So if you saw last video, I show you how we make dulls for these tractors. I just got finished fixing them. I kind of had some bad welds, kind of my fault, but I miswelded one of these. It broke off, I fixed it, it's good to go. So maybe the running bars through the tires is the better route. But today we're gonna get started on building stuff for the mud mower. I want to build a plow on the front, kind of like a bulldozer, but put it on front where I can push stuff out of the way, hay, dirt, anything and everything we need. I think it'll be a lot of fun to have that pushing stuff out. I think we can actually use it in the barns also to like clean the hay out of the barns. I'll go show you what one of our barns looks like. It's like 6 inches of hay. So that plow on the front might actually be nice to push it out of the way. Let's go find the mud mower. I think it's actually outside. I was hoping it was gonna rain, but it just doesn't rain. There it is. And before you laugh at me, hear me out. I think I'm gonna put bigger tires on this. We have some pivot tires that are about, well, you can see these are pretty decent size, but they're about this tall, maybe even taller, probably taller than the seat. I might try and put them on there after we do the plow. We have two. I can kind of extend them out. I don't know, that's future stuff we might do in a little bit, but for now, well, I need to drive this thing fast and maybe throw all that mud off, and then I want to take it inside of our shop, see if we can get the blade mounted on front. We got to build it, a lot of building today. Get that mounted on there, drill some holes in the frame, see if we can make this thing work, but I want to get a good blade for the front of this tractor. And the reason for that is to push hay, dirt, all sorts of things. Let me show you how much hay is in this barn here. I mean, this is like, we have actual round bells worth of hay probably on the ground here. Look at this, this is one spot. Look at all this hay. And now we're finally starting to get to rocks. So I think maybe cleaning this up a little bit is something we actually need to do. So I'm building something fun for us and the kids, but also something I think we actually do need. So we're gonna try and make it work. Does it turn on? It's been sitting out here a while, so let's see. Oh, look at that. So this is gonna be the blade we use for the mud mower. We're sticking to the name. I was gonna wash it, but is it really a mud mower if it's not muddy? So we're gonna leave it muddy. So this blade is gonna go in the front, kind of like so. Yes, I know it looks a little small, but we got a little curvature to it. It looks nice and good. And then when it's not staying up flat, we're gonna get some metal that we built up. I don't know, maybe about this tall. Gives it that blade look. And then once we do that, we're gonna find a way to mount it onto the frame itself. I wanna make it adjustable with height adjustments on it in case we need to lower it, raise it, whatever it needs to be. The only thing I don't know is, do I want to put wheels on this or not? I go back and forth because I feel like if I don't, it's going to cut really deep into the dirt. But then if I do, will it even cut into the dirt at all? So it's like this weird balance. I'm trying to see what's the best route. So I'm gonna do some thinking. Let's get to building on this frame. So I got the blade part. Obviously this is the first part cut out. Now I got our flat piece of metal cut out. This will kind of be our blade for the front of the mower, kind of turning it into a bulldozer a little bit. So now the plan is to get a good weld where we weld this part to the bottom part, all the way through, get it nice and strong. And then what I want to do, I want to get a little curvature to it, make it look like a real blade. Obviously it's completely flat now. So my thought is I'm going to take this, once I weld this on there, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to lay it in one of these ditches. It's got a little curvature to it, not a lot, but enough to, I think, if I lay it in there and I run it over in this direction with a truck or a tractor or an ATV, we'll start small with the ATV and see if we can get a little bend to it like a real blade. So we'll do that in a second and I'll show you me doing that, but I have a lot of welding to weld those two pieces together because it's gonna be under a lot of stress, so I need to make sure I got some good welds on that, and then we're gonna run it over. So let me get all my gear on to start welding. All right, so now we got the bottom blade welded on to the big piece of metal, so now you kind of have a better idea of what it's going to look like. It won't be this close to the tractor. We'll probably scoot it forward maybe a foot from here, and then now I want to get that little bend so it has that little banana look to it. And then also when we put it on there, and think instead of having it flat, I want to have it a little twisted, kind of like so. That way it pushes all the hay, the dirt, everything out to one side. So now that we got that bad boy welded together, it's time to run it over and try and get it bent. I'm gonna be really mad if we run it over and it somehow bends in the direction I don't want. So I'm gonna do this very cautiously. We're gonna start probably with an ATV, something little, and work our way up bigger. I don't wanna start with a huge tractor and destroy it right away. So we're gonna try this slowly. I'm trying to think of a good spot to do this though. All right, so I got something a little more subtle to start with rather than a huge curb. I got a little block of wood, like so. We're gonna run it over right in the middle. Hopefully that will bend it enough to give it a little curved look. That way it looks like a real dozer blade or a snow plow, whatever you want to call it. But I think I'm just gonna start with the big dog. We're gonna go straight to the forklift, right on this, because it's little enough where I think if it bends it, it's gonna be fine regardless. So let's try it out. So we ran that over pretty good, and it bent a lot. I think maybe if I add a little more blocks to it, get it a little higher, that we get that extra bend in it, because it's always gonna rebound a little bit. Because it's got a slight bend, but I want a little more. All right, round two, we added an extra block to give it a little more bend, because it's gonna rebound. So let's see, let's run it over. Hopefully we get that perfect little curve, and then we'll be good to go. Getting a big bend. Hopefully it's enough this time. All right, let me know what you guys think. I think it looks much better. We got a nice little bend to it. It's gonna be tilted even more forward. I just can't do that right now. I only have two hands, but whenever we got it up straight, it's got a nice bend to it. It looks better actually from this side, which is weird because it's not the side I drove on as much, but it's got a nice little bend to it. I think it'll look good. So now that we got the blade pretty much ready, we got to work on the frame part, which is gonna be, the bracket system's gonna be a little more difficult, probably a lot more difficult. So I want to get some holes drilled in the frame of the mower, where we're gonna put the brackets and all the good stuff for that. I also gotta draw that out, kind of see how I think it's gonna be best. I wanna make it adjustable, like I said. It's gonna be a little difficult, but I think it's something that we can handle. So let me get my chalk and get a nice little fancy drawing going. So I got a plan. I don't know if it's the best, but this is what we're gonna use to mount on here with the holes to the frame. And then these, funny enough, came off the original mowing deck. So we'll weld these on here, kind of like so, and we'll have little attachments to the blade that we can attach into here depending on what height we want. So I might need to go back to the drawing board on that front blade bracket system, because the one I just showed you, I don't think it's gonna cut it. After moving that blade, it's about 45, 50 pounds would be my guess, and I don't think those little brackets are gonna be enough to hold it. Eventually I think they're gonna wear out, break, and it's gonna cause bigger issues down the line. So I wanna go back to the drawing board, make something more heavy duty. I'm kinda thinking some angle iron, some thick angle iron that we can put on both sides on the blade and on the mower, bolted in that way. I think that's probably our best bet. So we'll get started on that next video, get it finished, painted, and go use it. Thank you guys for watching. Hudson'sPlayground.com for some awesome merch. More videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.